hurt by people, we are also healed. It's the motto that fuels Wendy Lee's motivation in all she does. We're so excited to have comedian Wendy Lee, not just in the audience this time, but she's live with us here on the virtual platform of the Sharvette Mitchell radio show. And our topic tonight is the healing powers of laughter. Again, we're excited to have comedian Wendy Lee hanging out with us, and we're going to get started right after this quick intro. Don't you move.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
All right. Hello, and welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the world wide web. We are so excited for all of our live viewers. Listen, Facebook, my personal page, hey there. Facebook, my business page, hey girl, hey. Facebook, my Facebook community. Certainly, we love you guys. YouTube, you all hold it down. We can't leave you out. LinkedIn, you hold it down. We can't leave you out. Twitter, you hold it down. We can't leave you out. And Instagram, later, you hold us down as well. And certainly, all of our podcast stations and Blog Talk Radio, we're excited to have you hanging out here because, you know, the goal of my show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we're going to do just that today with our amazing guest hanging out right now. Listen, she's ready to come up to the mic. We're going to be talking about the healing power of laughter. But I do need to mention that this segment is brought to you by the 6th annual Pop-Up Conference for Women Entrepreneurs that's taking place in the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, November 4th, which is for our VIP guests only, and then November 5th and 6th for all registration. Listen, we are planning an amazing event. This is the 6th year that I've done this. Yep. And we are going to be safe and all of that, but we have planned a power-packed, you know, we say that a lot in church. It's not a church conference, but we planned a power-packed business conference. But listen, we have some motivation. We have a lot of stuff packed in there. Oh, by the way, today's guest, Wendy Lee, comedian Quietstorm, is one of our MCs. So you know it's going to be amazing. So we invite you to register at heygirlhey.biz. That's right there on the screen. Or if you are listening in iTunes and Apple Podcasts, it's right there in the show notes, or on Sharvette.com. Heygirlhey.biz is where you can find out all the deets and join us for the 6th annual pop-up conference. Listen, YouTube, hey Kim, thank you for popping on in. Hey girl, hey. Hey Betty Jean, thank you for popping on in. Hey girl, hey. Hey Nicole, thank you for popping on in from my Facebook group. Hey girl, hey, and we see the rest of you. And we know that yes, we got the last coming in already. All right. So let's go ahead and let me tell you a little bit more about my guest so that I can bring her on in. Listen, captivating her audience with her unique story and mesmerizing them with her clever delivery, Wendy Lee, known as comedian Quietstorm, desires to spark thought that leads to actions that provoke lasting change. Wendy Lee has been spreading this mission over the country, opening for national recording artists like Luther Barnes and Sunday Best BET winner Leandria Johnson. Listen, Wendy Lee has worked with internationally known comedian Hamburger, Anna Douglas, Nikita B. Williams, Sylvia Trey Morrison, who is America's first Black female impressionist, and the late Joe Rucker. She's been an on-air radio personality. She is the co-author in the book Pour, The Secret Effects of Giving and Serving in Business and Leadership, which is a book collaboration, and her chapter is the very first chapter. With over a decade in the comedy industry, Wendy Lee is just scratching the surface in a league of her own. Listen, she's waiting to come up here and chat with you live on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show. She got jokes already. She coming in with the jokes already. Wendy Lee, Welcome to the show. Look, y'all.
Lord. Okay.
Welcome. All right, let's go. Hello, Leonard. Thank you so much for popping in from LinkedIn. All right, listen, you got love coming on in. B and Dr. Jackie. Yes, welcome. Wendy Lee. We are excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be had. Listen, I feel famous. I'm on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show that's on the U of the tube, that's on the face of the book, that's on, no, I was going to say the Instagram, but let me see.
It's going to be on Instagram a little bit later. It's going to be on Instagram a little bit later.
It's on everything, on every bit of social media. Lord have mercy. Oh, yeah, I'm so honorary, so let's glad to be here. Mm-hmm.
We are excited to have you. Listen, you doing these world tours. You just got back from, like, where did you just get back from?
We from Georgia. I saw Gladys Knight and some of the Pips. Yes, and then I stopped through South Kakalaki. Oh yeah, had me a good old time. Yes, I got some new cousins in Georgia and South Carolina. Yes,
wonderful. Indeed. And so those were for comedy events, right? You were brought in. Yes,
indeed. Yes, had a good old time. It was Kingdom Life International. Yes, right. It was Apostle birthday. Yes, indeed. Yeah,
wonderful. Which like brings you put S on it, which brings up like a great thing. Like you can provide comedy for a lot of type of events. Tell us all the different types of events that you can provide comedy for.
I do birthday parties. I have done weddings. I've been asked to do a funeral, but anyway, I just wasn't ready for that. Yes, even though it's a whole lot of things, Sharvette, it's a whole lot of things that happen at funerals. Lord have mercy. I just wasn't ready for it. But yes, I do pastoral events, church events. I've been doing a whole lot of virtual things for women in business. I can do pretty much anything where people want clean comedy. Clean comedy. That just means I take a bath right before I perform. I even took a bath today for you, Sharvette, and your audience, all these people here.
We appreciate
I brush my back teeth as well as the front. Usually it's just the front, just one I'm smile with, but I was gonna laugh real loud, did that real wide, so I brush my back teeth too.
We glad you got the front and the back. So listen, you coming out the gate with the laughter. B is throwing up emojis, and for those that are tuning in and listening in, go ahead and share this out with your audiences. And so let's go backwards because we have people that don't. Yeah, no, we're gonna go back. We're gonna put the car in reverse.
Okay.
Tell us how you even got into this space of comedy, knowing that you could do comedy. Tell us that story.
Well, once upon a time, picture it, Sicily, 1812. Okay, I was just seeing who was in the audience. See, a lot of people don't know this. That's
Hashtag Golden Girls. Hashtag Golden Girls.
There you go. Yes, but what had happened was when I moved to this big old metropolitan city of Petersburg, I went to this talent show that was happening at a church, and I just went to support the talent show. And when I got there, she said, Sophia, Sophia Petrillo, that's my cousin. Well, she was my real old cousin.
But hashtag Golden Girls. Hashtag Golden Girls, right?
Golden Girls. Yeah. And so I went there to support the talent show. But when I got there, the pastor kept making the announcement that they needed more participants. And so I said, well, what can I do? Because I'm just one of those people who just love to help. Yes, the ministry of helps. Anytime I see a need, I want to fill it. And so I said, I pulled my imaginary beard and I said, what can I do? Because here's a secret. Don't tell nobody, Sharvette. Don't tell me.
I won't
tell you. Here's a secret. I have a host of talents. But see, some of them I have retired from. At the time, I sang a little bit. On praise worship ministry. Don't tell nobody though. And then I also was on the dance ministry at the time. So dance. And then I write poetry. And but all those had been presented already that night. So I said, I want to do something different. And it just popped in my mind to tell some jokes. I have no clue where it come from. I'm gonna say it was the Holy Spirit. Because I never aspired to be a comedian. This was nothing, I ever say when I
Wow.
was younger, hey, this is what I want to do. No, it just popped in my mind that moment to tell some jokes. And so I just wrote down every little goofy thing that I remember, goofy church appropriate thing that I remember from high school, and just told it at the church that night. I didn't produce any comment. I didn't write anything specifically that time. It's just jokes that I'd heard that we shared in class.
Yeah.
And got up there, read it from the paper. And when I went back to my seat, the pastor invited me back up and he prayed over me. And he's spoken to my life. And he said, I see God sending you places. He said, you have an awesome gift. I see God putting you before great men. And he said, I want to be the first one to sow into your ministry. So they took up an offering for me that night. I wasn't even a member of the church. I was there to support the talent show. And they took up an offering for me. And then they invited me back the following year to host the talent show. And then when I did that, they asked me for my business card. The people in the audience asked me for my business card. And I said, I'm not in business. I'm not a comedian. I was just having fun. And so they said, well, you come to my church and do what you did tonight. I said, sure. And went to that church, and it was a domino effect. The same thing happened. And I have a business card. I'm not in business. I'm just a comedian. I'm not a comedian. I'm just having fun. And Sharvette, for 7 years that happened. So that's why technically I'm in year number 21, technically, but those first 7 years, I was just feeling my way, not even declaring myself a comedian, just having fun, literally just having fun. And it was in 2006 where someone sent me, at the time it was called, it was Bobby Jones gospel promo.
Yes.
List, because he had the Bobby Jones gospel that was coming on Sunday. And so he had an email list. And what happened was one of my friends emailed me this promotion where they were having a Christian comedian conference in Tennessee. And there was a whole miraculous story of even how I got there. But went there and I met about 30 comedians who was doing it full time. And it was like two of them I had heard of before, but it's like, wait a minute. You get paid for this? That's when I realized, wait a minute, you get paid for this? And enough to come off your job? Say what? Yeah, and Sharvette, I also felt like I had found my tribe, because during that time,
so important.
People were making me feel some people were making me feel a certain type of way from having this sense of humor, and some people were quoting all these things from Proverbs, where joking and jesting is not of God, and and set somebody up when you do a joke, and tell your punchline, you're setting somebody up for a lie, you're lying, and and all that. So it wasn't. Everybody wasn't open to it. It wasn't even, so welcoming. And then another thing about me is I felt like even when I first got saved, I felt like joking, and that I had to squash that part of my personality. So jovial and stuff. And so it was so refreshing to be in a room full of people who love God and act like me. It was.
Oh, my God.
I came back fired up. I was on fire just from finding my tribe, and then learning I had a business that fell into my lap. And so I made these flyers and sent them out to local churches, just asking for opportunity to exercise my gift. And I was doing it for love offering. And then, honey, Sharvette took and learned. That some people don't love me that much. And so, like Tasha Cobbs said, she had to put a praise on it. After a certain amount of years, I had to put a price on it. Woo!
Oh, listen, y'all not ready. Y'all not shouting as hard as she talking. Let me capture B's comment. This is so wonderful. You didn't even know you were going to find your calling. Right. You didn't even know. And I think, I want to interject this, and I want your thoughts on this, Wendy. A lot of times people are like, I'm looking for my purpose. I'm looking for what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm looking for am I going to make impact in life? And sometimes it is just doing what you're good at and you enjoy. Like, you agree, disagree? What do you think?
Well, yes. And, and T.D. Jakes has this sermon where it's a clause in it. I forgot the name of the sermon, but he said it happened. He hacked into it. He was preaching, and you hacked into it. So I feel like that's what happened with me, because I hacked into this thing. And like, it's nothing. I never aspired to be a comedian. Never, ever, never been a thought in my mind. And literally, it fell into my lap. And I would just say, it it happens upon me. And then the other part is I guess being a help, a part of wanting to help, because that was something. Because he kept making the announcement. I'm like, okay, what can I do? Nobody else is stepping up. Let me see how I can help. And and I just wanted to fill an empty spot.
And there you have it. And you have done it so well. Welcome to all those that are popping on in from all across the World Wide Web. I am Sharvette Mitchell, your host, the host of the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. We're hanging out here with comedian Wendy Lee, also known as Quietstorm. We see all of you that are coming on in. Thank you so much for sharing, those that have shared and those that are commenting. And our topic tonight and today, and whenever you're listening and hearing this, is the healing power of laughter. And so certainly we hear you laughing and all of that, and you make us laugh. But there have been times where you were, maybe a little bit low moments. And how has the healing from laughter really helped you or helps other people that you've observed?
Well, let me hang my hat right down.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, healing, laughter has a lot of benefits. Of course, it lifts the spirits. I mean, it has physical benefits, it has mental benefits, and even social benefits. And and it's some stuff I didn't even know about. But as far and it's times that I would say maybe 50% of the time when I'm posting on social media, when I post something funny, it is birthed out of pain. I mean, really. And it comes from where I'm feeling kind of low, and people probably don't know that. They might be surprised even to hear that. And it actually helps me to feel better, to make somebody else laugh. I'm low and I'm like, okay, let me go, just make somebody else's day today and post something funny. And and my reward is hearing the laughter, or hearing the laughter when I'm at a live event, or seeing the laugh emojis or people commenting, because there even been times when people will say in the comments, oh, I really needed that laugh. And then and there's two things that happened to me that I want to share. And one of them was even before I started doing comedy. I was 19 years old, so that was like last year. But that was when I was working McDonald's. That was my first job. And one of the managers there, the actual assistant store manager, had lost her mother. And she came to work the very next day. And when she came to the door, some of the staff were saying, why are you here? Your mom just died. Why are you here? And she said, well, she's already passed, so it's nothing I can do about it. There's no need for me to sit home and mope. And then secondly, she said, I looked at the schedule today and I saw Wendy was going to be here. And I knew she would say or do something to make me laugh. And that just really blessed me. I mean,
impact.
For somebody to lose. And like I said, and then I guess I had a sense of humor then, but like I said, I still wasn't aspiring to be a comedian, but just, it's just part of my personality. I think, the humorous side of me is a part of my personality. And that's impactful. That is so impactful for a person to say that and even to do that. And I knew it wasn't all about me, but that left an impression on me. And then some of the feedback that I get back when I do live shows. I know it was another thing that happened. I did a senior. I love my seniors. I love to minister to them, but you know what? When these senior men, they trying to holler at me.
Oh my goodness!
Those on the Facebook that haven't seen the video, the last live out is pinned at the top of my page with this.
Go take a look at it, right?
73-year-old man tried to holler at me. But when I say I like seniors, I mean I like to minister. I like the wisdom. I like to make them laugh. I'm not trying to holler. I ain't trying to marry nobody in the geriatric. Okay, but anyway. All right.
And we'll get to, and I want you to finish. We'll get to this listener's question.
I'm all over the place.
Right. No, finish that stuff.
Squirrel. Okay.
Follow the pink squirrel. Tony wants to, she's probably going to follow. She's going to listen to this, watch this later.
Yeah. But one of, I did a senior banquet. And one of the ladies came up to me afterwards and she said, I started not to come today. She said, I was feeling bad and I was aching in my body. But she said, after hearing you, she said, I was so glad that I came because while you was up there making me laugh, I ain't feel no pain.
Oh,
And I was like,
wow.
wow. So, yeah, so that's major. So it's things like that to just bless my soul. I like to hear feedback like that. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that. And I do want to capture, hey, Marcy, coming on in. Brenda said, what was your prior career and was it hard to leave? So I know you can answer this a couple different ways.
Yes, I can. And a few ways. Well, one thing I'm still I can't say a 9 to 5. I got a part-time job. And I actually, part-time right now, I work, let me see. I'm gonna make it sound high class, and then I'm gonna tell you what it really is. I work in the retail industry. I work for American Greetings. And so, yeah, so I'm a merchandiser for American Greetings. That's what I do part-time. And before that, I had a whole bunch of jobs before then, a whole bunch of them. I'm like almost Jamaican. This ain't happening at the same time. I just ain't happening at the same time. But anyway.
Thank you for that question. Thank you for that. Yeah. Listen, that's good. And your cousin coming in from New York. Shout out to Cookie.
Yeah.
So would you describe yourself? And I know some comics are, they are not sure if they want to say clean. They're not sure if they want to say Christian clean. How do you define your style of comedy?
Girl, well, let me just tell the truth. The truth shall make you free. Well, it depends on who I'm talking to. and I'm going to tell you why. Because, I did label myself a Christian comedian because I am a Christian that does comedy. But since I do other things besides Christian, because before when I first started, of course, I was just doing strictly Christian events, and still, I would say still 95% of my events, are Christian, but still I do clean comedy wherever I am. And pretty much, let me see, what year was it? Carried one. I think it was 2015 was when I did my first comedy club. Mm-hmm. But still, I don't do the comedy clubs regularly, but I do pop in every now and then, but I still do clean comedy. And it's been said to market yourself as a clean comedian because the opportunities are wider for you. So it really doesn't matter because still when people like on Facebook, social media, when someone is looking for a gospel comedian or a Christian comedian, they'll pop my name in there. But still, even if I don't say it, people will recognize you by your jargon and by the way so you really don't even have to announce it. Because even when I went to the comedy club, I'm gonna say this. I don't know who I'm at, but I don't care. I'm gonna say this.
Listen, it's reality radio over here.
Absolutely. Because even my first time performing at a comedy club, I talked about church. But I never did say in my set, I'm a Christian. I never said that, but it was funny because the very first time I performed at a comedy club, there were some other comedians on there who weren't necessarily clean comedians, but they said in their set, I'm Christian, but at the same time, they said some things that, they said some bleeps, they did some bleeps words, and they things that, you just can't talk about at church. They said some things, use some words and vulgarity and profanity, and it's funny. And I just thought that was interesting. And it's funny, even one of them who used those types, they actually came up to me after and said, I got saved in 2011. I know it don't act like it. I know it don't seem like it. And I know you couldn't tell by my set. He was confessing his sins, and I ain't even saying nothing.
Confess your sins one to another. Just show up as yourself, right? Show up as your authentic self. I want to capture my sister. This is my blood sister, Kim, over on YouTube. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yes. And that just and I just want to highlight one of the benefits of laughter. It actually is good for the heart because it expands your blood vessels. When you laugh, it actually expands those blood vessels so the blood can flow freely.
Yes, freely.
Yes, absolutely. So that's how it helps your heart. That's one way it helps your heart.
Wonderful. So tell our viewers and listeners that are all hanging out here, hey y'all, throw some hearts up and share this broadcast out. How they can connect with you, how can they reach out to you if they want to book you for an event?
Okay. All right. Well, you can reach me by trailway. Let me see. Okay.
I'm back. I'm back.
I didn't know the rest of it, but I felt Olita Adams come up in my spirit. Olita. Well, yeah, so I'm on the face of the book. I got 2 pages. I'm high class now. Feel like somebody. High class. So I got my personal page, Wendy Lee. And then I got the comedy page, which is Quietstorm. And then I'm on the Insta of the gram, and that's comedian _Quietstorm. And I got a website. And it's www.wendyleequietstorm.com. Let me see, is that all? That's a whole bunch. Yes.
That's a whole bunch. And those that are hanging out at Sharvette.com, we have Wendy's full bio. We have the links to connect with her. All of the things are right there. And we're loving all of the love in the comments. B and Cookie and Tanya, that's popping on in. Thank you so much. We are talking about the healing power of laughter. And if you have had any exposure to comedian Quietstorm, Wendy Lee, you know that she does nothing but bring some comedic flair to your day. What makes you laugh? What makes you laugh?
When I look in the mirror and see how funny looking I am. You know what, Sharvette? Because it's the regular, I wouldn't say regular people. It's the non-comedians that make me laugh. I was gonna say regular people, but it's the people, because a lot of people was like, well, which comedian makes you laugh? Well, really, of course I myself, but just being bougie-fied. But really, I got this cousin. Anytime I go in his house, he gonna make me crack, almost hurt myself laughing. And so it's him, and it's funny. He's funny when he doesn't try, but when he finds out he make me laugh, then he try to make me laugh, and it's not funny no more. So it's just so he's one person that can make me almost hurt myself laughing. But then it's just the average Joe, the average person, the average person just being who they are that makes me laugh.
Makes you laugh. Listen, one of your platform builders, Rita, is saying Wendy always makes our heart happy. Rita Stewart popping on in, joining us there. So listen, we're going to take a very, very quick intro. I'm going to let you rest in the virtual studio. When we come back, there's a little bit more to you than comedy. You have some things that you have brought to the stage with you. You are an author, you have t-shirts. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to let you rest in the virtual studio. All right. And welcome to all those that are popping on in. You're checking out the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. We're multi-streaming in 6 places, but you may hear the podcast version of this. You may hear the talk show version of this, and we're excited to have you. So if you're brand spanking new to me, and you're saying, who is Sharvette? I don't even know who this chick is. Here's a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with comedian Wendy Lee. Imagine what it would feel like to throw a spotlight on your business and draw attention to the great services you offer. Picture having the tools and strategies to elevate the marketing of your business. That's the mission of Mitchell Productions. We consult with women entrepreneurs and a few lucky men to help them get more customers by focusing on their visibility, their marketing, and their branding. In working with us, our clients generate more revenue and increase their brand awareness. We do this in a couple of ways with consulting services, the Platform Builder Group Coaching Program, pop-up conferences, book collaborations, and the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Hi, I'm Sharvette Mitchell, your online marketing strategist, your overwhelm eliminator, your platform builder, and your confidence igniter. Let's schedule a meet and greet call so that we can accelerate your marketing. All right. Again, so glad to have all of you joining us and listening in. Let me bring our guest back up to the mic. Comedian Wendy Lee, Quietstorm. Listen, love coming in from Yay, Dr. Jackie is saying thank
Oh,
you for your healing and your love. And Dr. Jackie specializes in grief recovery and helping people with grief, and so certainly is appreciated in that space. And so I want to talk about the t-shirts because you're wearing your product. So tell us about what you have on and how that came about.
Well,
you're modeling so
yes,
well.
you probably can't see it because my breast. I ain't have my push-up bra to put on. It's in the laundromat.
Not in the laundromat.
Yeah, I don't know why I said laundromat. In the laundry.
All right.
Okay. Right. Oh yes. This is my hip hop Bible. I have a hip hop Bible because I'm creative like that. Creative. So I created a hip hop Bible, and that I do in my set. And this is one of the scriptures that I always get an applause when I translate it. And this is 2 Chronicles 7:14, and we know that it reads thus so in the King James Version. If my people call by my name will humble themselves, pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, forgive sin, and heal the land. And the hip hop version, it says, if my peeps would stop tripping and holler at me, I holler back, and it'll be all good. Yes, indeed. So I made a t-shirt because it had been on my mind for a long time, and I was just a little bit apprehensive about stepping out to do it. And I remember I did the scripture at an event, and then I heard somebody at a table while I was on stage. I heard them say they didn't put I'll put that on a t-shirt. And I'm like, let me put some octane in my foot and just go ahead and get it right now. And I also got it in black because black t-shirts matter.
Yeah, yes. So black and purple, and you can pick those up. Wendy Lee, Quietstorm.com, right there on your screen. You can screenshot it if you're listening again from iTunes or any of our broadcast stations. Check the show notes. We have a link to her website right there. I have the black and gold. What sizes do you carry?
Oh, I carry small through 4X. Because some people that gained some quarantine weight, some people, the Lord has enlarged.
Watch yourself. I
don't even know. See, it's just like church. All you have to do is look straight and say amen. Nobody know anybody. Well, I just said some people can, just like in the Bible, it say a certain woman, certain man. No name on it. It was just hallelujah. So yes, if God has enlarged your territory, hallelujah. There's space in the shirt for you. I got 4X, I got 3X. I'm still waiting on the Lord to fill my cups. So I got the truth shall make you free. I'm just saying, it's a.
We just say it. So jump over to her website and get that. But also, I started to say jokes aside, but that doesn't even make sense in this conversation. But you're an author, so you took time to pen a chapter as a part of the book collaboration Pour, which I'm excited to have been the visionary author for. Your chapter actually opens up the book. And so, Pour is just amazing. The subtitle, for those that are not familiar, it's The Secret Effects of Giving and Serving in Business and in Leadership. And again, Wendy Lee is one of the contributing authors. And your chapter was so very powerful. So for those that are saying, wow, did she write jokes the whole chapter? Absolutely not. You were very transparent and just shared, your journey. And so can you give the viewers and the listeners just a taste of what kind of the high level theme of your chapter in Pour?
Well, sure. And the name of the chapter is Whole Vessels Hold More Water. And it was just basically just talking about my journey from dealing with all these issues of pretty much not being whole in my emotions, and how I dealt with low self-confidence, low self-esteem, not thinking I was good enough, and hiding in the background, even though I was on stage, because I know I am skilled at knowing how to be invisible in a room full of people, and
Oh, that's so good.
yeah.
And wait a minute, you just said something that was hiding on stage. I want you all to soak that in.
Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
like on stage, but hiding. Oh, that's so good. You could almost write a whole nother chapter or do something with that. That's good. But I'm sorry. Continue. I just had to capture that.
Good. No, that's fine. That's fine. And so yes, and what I mean by that, because it's a way to be present and to be physically present, but not emotionally there, and not fully there with even in your full being. And even though I'm saying you, but I'm talking about myself. And not being fully, and not even allowing people to see the fullness of who I am, and for many reasons, because I didn't think I was good enough, and because I was dealing with stuff, and I didn't want people to see me because I was afraid of failure and afraid of success. I'm just going to tell the whole truth.
Yeah.
What do I do after this? Because you're only as good as your last performance. It's like, where do I go from here? And I'm the type of person where I have to see. Well, I felt like I had to see all these steps. I had to see to the end and know where I'm going. And so that was actually a lack of faith, just to be honest, because I wanted to see everything. And I just couldn't just take one step and trust that God was going to make the next step appear after I take this step. And so it was several things that I was going through, emotionally and mentally. And because of that, it didn't allow me to be my full self. And I felt like I want to say that I missed some opportunities, or I felt like I could have been further along if I was my full self, and if I was healed in these areas. But I believe that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that's why I say I want to say that I could have been wrong. But I believe that this journey was necessary. And and I used to complain and have regrets that I wish I was whole. I wish I'm just gonna be. I wish I had another set of parents, that treated me, a certain way, or I wish, that I grew up somewhere else, or I wish that I didn't have to go through these things. But these things, they all work together for the good, and they are part of the perfecting. And so I don't regret anything that I've gone through, even though it didn't feel good at the time, or looking back on it, I can say I wish, but I honestly believe I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and that I went through these things, to help somebody else, because I know it's other people that's feeling this way, that's going through these things, that feel hidden within themselves, that feel locked up within themselves. And I remember I saw an image. It's a meme. It's a head. It's a huge head, and it has and it's showing the back of a head, but it has prison bars on the back of a head, and it's showing a person looking outside those prison bars. And that's exactly how I felt at times, locked in prison within myself. And and it's not to say that somebody or some things did this to me. A lot of issues is just some things that I was thinking in my mind that were not true.
So good, not true. Yeah.
Lies that I was telling myself, some things that I was feeling that were not true. And so that's kind of synopsis. I know you said give a shrimp a little piece, but
no. That perfect. Listen. Dio Greenway is chiming in. She's like, yes, this is good, Wendy. Your transparency is helping us. So thank you, Dio Greenway. I'm going to be with her, Dio Greenway, at her conference in September, Changing Faces. So you all register and join us in the Tidewater area. And I love that, we think things in our minds that are simply not true. Feelings come up, thoughts come up. And I heard, oh my goodness, I believe his name is Adam. I'm gonna look him up he's on Instagram. He's like maybe in the therapy world. And he said, our thoughts, we should challenge our thoughts. Don't just accept the first thought. Question our thoughts, challenge them. You don't have to accept them. And so I think what you're saying is just, this is just layering on with that. And I also want to mention again, Pour. She's a contributing author. First chapter in Pour. She probably run and get in the book for you. It's available on her website. Wendy Lee. There you go. Wendy Lee Quietstorm.com. She has some copies. Look. Oh, who is that? Hey girl. Hey on the back. Oh, hey girl. Oh, hey. So order, if you haven't ordered a copy again from her website, Wendy Lee Quietstorm.com. Her chapter is the opening chapter for the book. And so and really I wanted you to so many good comments coming in. This is Dio again. We don't have to accept the first thought. Challenge it. And matter of fact, I heard Bishop J. Kevin Harris say interrogate the fear, interrogate the thought. And I feel like that's so, ask it, why are you here? So that's Bishop J. Kevin Harris. So wonderful. All right, and I'm pulling this in. So many good comments. So let's talk about this. So Brenda said, other than negative thoughts, what has been your biggest challenge, and do you have any regrets?
Wow. Well,
thanks, Brenda.
Any regrets? Actually, no, I don't. I'll answer that one first. No, I don't have any regrets. But my biggest challenge is actually, oh Lord, I'm gonna really get naked right now.
Do what's good feels right for you.
I am. I'm gonna say what I feel like the least of the comedians. I do. So when I get around other comics, I feel this small. I do. I feel this small. And so so that is the biggest challenge, just understanding. And I know it's said a whole lot that really that you are your biggest competition. But for me, that's a challenge. That's a challenge for me. And that was the reason why I used to not do competitions, because and for two reasons. I felt like I wouldn't win, number one. And then the other thing is, I don't believe it. Who is a person to say that this one is the best, or or this one is not the best? Because there can only be one winner. But who is anybody to tell you that you're not good enough? And because that's what I feel like a competition, saying, okay, this one is the best. And how you can't say that, because especially the arts is one of those fields that is so subjective, and that's why there's a variety of flavors, a variety of different types of people, a variety of musical styles and genres. And in art, even art itself, art, people pay millions of dollars for a piece of scribble, something that a child done. People pay millions. That look like kindergarten work. And then you got this big old masterpiece, that an adult has done, and it might go $200 or $300. Still, that's amazing that somebody can sell a piece of artwork, but it's so subjective.
Yes.
And so, I feel like I'm going off in left field now.
No, you're right. You're right on track. And I feel like all of us have those experiences. Anyone that's great, anyone that's I think a leader or leading in a space has those feelings. And Dio was chiming in. It was like, speak your truth, Wendy. Wow. Yeah. This is real talk. Reality radio here on the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Make sure you're following Wendy Lee. Again, more than comedy. This is beyond comedy. But comedian Wendy Lee, one more time, where can people connect with you as they're listening and coming in and out?
will. They can find me on the face of the book under Wendy Lee. And also my business page is Comedian Quietstorm. I'm on the Instagram under comedian_Quietstorm. And I have a website. Woo! I'm still excited about that. I have a website, www.wendyleequietstorm.com. Yes, and I am available. I'm looking, past appreciation month is coming up. You need to appreciate your pastor. Get him a comedian because laughter is healing. It feel better. You look better. It's hot. Especially if you, eat a whole lot of chicken, you need to open up them blood vessels, get some laugh on.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. And you're doing in person and you're equipped to do virtual.
Oh, yes, absolutely. In person, virtual. I can do hybrid. I did some hybrid stuff. That's what I did in Georgia. It was hybrid.
Yes. You fancy. You fancy, huh? You fancy, huh? All right, we're going to wrap it up. Oh, my goodness. Our time has just flown by. My last question that we love to ask our guests, because the goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. What continues to motivate Wendy Lee?
Now, what motivates me is that, Sharvette, there's so much going on in the world. it's always been like that. But here lately, 2020, 2021, even what's going on now, Afghanistan, Haiti, earthquake, all these natural disasters, even locally, people, it seems like every day, day before yesterday, 2 people close to me passed away. It is so much going on. And people need laughter. People need something uplifting. People need a distraction. And that's one of the benefits of laughter. It's a healthy distraction from what's going on. So what motivates me is that despite how I feel, despite what I have going on, even though I do believe in self-care, I do that. I do self-care. But the fact that somebody needs a laugh, somebody needs a distraction, somebody needs an encouraging word. And that's one thing I do with my Facebook page. Even though I go through stuff, I go through the gamut of emotion. I get angry, I get pissed off. I'm like, how you get pissed off at some stuff? You got these loud neighbors. I try to make that light. I try to bring levity even to my annoying neighbors. But the purpose of me being on social media is to bring laughter and inspiration, and that's the litmus test of whether I'm going to post something. Because it's been plenty of times, and I know I'm not the only one, where I will do a post. And before I press send, I look at it. I'm like, no, don't put this.
Yeah.
This is not uplifting. This is complaining. And so that's what I do. I am here to bring laughter through healing. And, and sometimes that's how I introduce myself. My name is Wendy Lee, Comedian Quietstorm, and I bring healing through laughter. So that's what I do to bring laughter and to inspire people.
Yeah.
So that's it. They need me. That's the whole point.
There you go.
They don't need what I have.
Yes, wonderful. This has been awesome. Connect with comedian Quietstorm, Wendy Lee. Again, listen, we're going to be fancy right here real quick. She is going to be one of the MCs for the 6th annual pop-up conference that's taking place in the capital city of Richmond, Virginia. So we're going to be live in person, 4 Points by Sheraton out by the airport. And so register at heygirlhey.biz, register at heygirlhey.biz, and experience comedian Wendy Lee live and in living color. We're wrapping it up. Oh my goodness. Yes, let me just capture a few more things. Donna said laughter is the best medicine. B is chiming in. Your comedy has helped a lot of people get through the pandemic.
Say what it is, Sharvette. It is heck peg. Your comedy has heck peg. Okay, heck peg.
And we thank you. Wonderful. So awesome. So much coming in. Wendy Lee, thank you so much for stopping by. It's an honor to work with you and she's in my mastermind. mastermind, platform builder, alumni program is just honored. And you support so many people. I want to end with this. You are such a huge supporter. And the seeds that you sow cannot help but come back to you. I mean, absolutely. You jump on everybody's Facebook Live. Like, can y'all witness if you are on Facebook Live, can y'all witness, in the chat? Can y'all make a witness in the chat? If she's joined your Facebook Live, congratulated you for being a speaker, for being an author, whatever. You are so positive to other people, and that that has to come back to you, because the seeds we put in the ground, good or bad, come back to us. So,
oh my, yes, indeed.
And we're gonna leave it at that. But you got good seeds coming back to you. Thanks for popping in, Wendy.
Thank you for having me, Sharvette. I'm famous now. You know, you the Oprah of social media. That's how I feel about it. Prophesy. All right. There it is.
I receive it. Awesome. Thank you, Wendy. Oh, wow. What an amazing show. Yes. I agree with you, Bree. She is a true supporter. Yes, Dr. Jackie, I agree. Amen. Thank you, Wendy, for sewing into me. Check out Jack Lavelle Coaching, and they have a stream. Absolutely. Thank you, Tanya. She said, bye, ladies. Yes, the Oprah. Yes. Thank you. I'll receive that. Again, I'm Sharvette Mitchell, online marketing strategist, talk radio show host, author, coach. And I'm excited that you spent some time here on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, which is coming up on 14 years old. Yes. True. 14 years in September. And we love you guys, and we will continue to bring you amazing guests and amazing shows and amazing topics. And Sharvette.com is where you can hang out with me and find out more. If you missed any portion of the interview, you can go back there or check out who else has shared. Go there and see. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m., interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.